Let's have some fun and get predicting, shall we? Because there's only one thing left to play for in the Premier League this season, and that is to qualify for European football for next season. And of course, pride, possibly playing for a new contract, maybe trying to earn that big money move this summer. But those things are debatable. I'd like to discuss the one thing which isn't debatable, and that is everything is up for grabs when it comes to that European qualification. We've got the Champions League, the Europa League, and the Conference League as well. Lots of clubs in the running. And as I always say, not many spots up for grabs. That would be a lie. There's 7, possibly even 8. So let me rephrase that. Lots of clubs in the running, plenty of spots up for grabs. However, some will miss out, and not every club will see qualifying for the Europa League as an achievement. So let's discuss it. If you're new to the Tartan YouTube channel, please do subscribe, and also do drop a like on the video as well by clicking the thumbs up button. Both things are free, takes 2 seconds, helps out the video, helps out the channel. Plus, hopefully you'll pop back tomorrow for my Premier League preview and predictions video. So let's start by taking a look at how you qualify for European football this season. As it stands, 1st to 5th in the Premier League get Champions League football next season, with 6 going into Europa League and 7 head off to the Conference League. However, if a team in the top 7 wins the FA Cup, then 7th will qualify for the Europa League, with 8 now qualifying for the Conference League. The FA Cup semi-finalists are, of course, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Manchester City and Nottingham Forest. So depending on how you think the table will go, only Crystal Palace can stop 8th getting European football, unless, of course, you think Aston Villa, Man City or Nottingham Forest are way to plummet down the league table. But let's take a look at the league table as it stands. Got Liverpool right up at the top there, running away with the title. Arsenal sitting in second on 63 points. Newcastle, Nottingham Forest and Man City filling up the Champions League spots. Just a point behind Man City is Chelsea, who are in the Europa League spot. Villa are currently in the Conference League spot, equal on points with Chelsea, but with a significantly worse goal difference. Bournemouth are now 8th after beating Fulham on Monday night, who sit in 9th, and Brighton complete the top 10. And those are the sides I will be focusing on in this video. However, if you think Brentford are going to go on a remarkable run, finishing top 8, be my guest. Get your predictions in below. Now I'm going to do 2 different predictions. I'm going to talk. My first prediction is guessing. So as you can see there on the timestamp, it's 20 to 3, 2:38 p.m. I'm going to talk about the teams now. Then what I'm going to do is go into one of those prediction websites where you fill in all the scores for the remaining fixtures of the Premier League, pop them in, hit results and see if that table matches up with what I am thinking. I'll put a link in the description below if you fancy having a go as well. Now, Liverpool are going to win the title. That's obvious. Let's just move on to second place. I've actually got Newcastle. I think Newcastle are the informed team in the Premier League at the minute. It certainly feels like it. No matter who Newcastle are going to play, I fancy them to win. They could be playing Liverpool next, and I think Newcastle are going to win. Harvey Barnes is in ridiculous form. Murphy is in ridiculous form. Isak is underperforming at the minute, and they're still notching 9 goals in the last 2 games. Anthony Gordon sat on the bench ready to come on. They've got Tonali, they've got Bruno. They're in good form. Joelinton, Livermento's fantastic at left back. Newcastle are purring right now, and I just don't see them stopping. I think they're going to go on, and I actually think they're going to overtake Arsenal because Arsenal have got the Champions League, and I'm putting Arsenal 3rd in my prediction competition. They were incredible against Real Madrid. There'll be a lot made about how Real Madrid were poor. Doesn't really matter. I don't care. I hate when a team's success gets downplayed because the other team weren't at it on the day. It just does not matter. Arsenal were fantastic. They've gone through. They will play PSG. And Arteta will rightly focus and prioritise the Champions League when it comes around. And they have to. They absolutely have to. It's their only chance of success this season. They're not going to come out the top 5. So if they finish 2nd, 3rd or 4th, what difference does it really make to Arsenal? None. Focus on the Champions League. I think they will. And as a result, I think they'll drop points, whereas Newcastle will gain them. And I think they'll leapfrog them in the Premier League. So Liverpool, Newcastle, Arsenal. I've then gone Nottingham Forest. I recall looking at their fixtures a couple of weeks ago, and they've got favourable fixtures between now and the end of the season. They're playing the types of teams I expect them to be able to grind out 1-0 wins, and they're going to have to start doing that. A disappointing defeat for them against Everton, but they weren't without their chances. Now, I didn't watch the entire game, so this was a highlights package for me, but they certainly had enough opportunity to win that game. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll do all right. It might be a little bit shaky for them. They might be looking over their shoulder, because I think this Premier League title is going to be close. I think it's going to be really tight. But I think Forest are going to do it. I think they're going to hang on, and I've got them 4th in the table. 5th, my honest opinion, Aston Villa. They were fantastic against PSG. Very unlucky not to take it to extra time. That's that goal in Paris that done them really. Nothing they did at Villa Park was wrong. The team come out. I looked at it. I thought, wow, Emery's gambling here. Turned out it was the right thing to do. They won the game. I think maybe did the substitution wrong, taking Rashford off because he was stretching it. It doesn't matter now. They're out. They need Champions League football next season. I say that. They got the Europa League. It's still fine. They'll be one of the favourites to go on and win that competition. But if they want to keep growing and getting better as a football club, I think they need the finances that the Champions League allows. Because they are ambitious. But they've shown that they should be ambitious. Emery's shown, I can lead you to success. I can get you Champions League football. So now it goes back to the club, which is, well, can you support Emery and get him Champions League football? Yes. And it's sort of like you need to keep doing a little bit of both. You need to give Emery a bit more, and then he needs to show what he can do and then get a bit more, and so on and so forth. I think they need to get it. I think they need to get 5th. Villa Park is a fortress right now. You don't want to go to Villa Park. I think they'll be all right. I think they're going to pick up enough points. They're in form. And again, you look at that squad, it is just full of depth. They weren't at their best, albeit against Southampton. They weren't at their best. They won 3-0. All 3 goals coming from substitutes. That's a good thing. If I'm a Villa fan, I'm excited by that. All right, my manager can change the game and the subs can win the game. Those 2 things are huge. Do not underestimate the power of being able, an hour into a game, to change the game and go on and win it because of your changes and also who's come off the bench to do it. But when you look at their squad right now, it is strong. The attacking options they've got. And this is where the myth of you can't do business in January is blown out of the water by Aston Villa, with Asensio, with Malin, with Rashford all coming in, Garcia coming in. They have shown actually you can improve your squad and they can make a significant difference to the second half of the season. And I think they will. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to get 5th, which means Man City are 6th. And I thought long and hard about doing this. I just wrote these down as like a gut feeling. And thought, I'm going to get a bit of stick for the Man City one here. It's my honest opinion. If I'm wrong, it doesn't really matter, does it? It's just a guess at the end of the day. And they blew Palace away. But I think City have got some tough fixtures coming up, I believe. I believe they've got some tough games between now and the end of the season. And I look at that team, and bar Palace, they haven't been at their best this season by a mile. They've been a mile off it. But not only that, I do sometimes question the motivation for clubs/players when it comes to relative success. So for Man City, it's win the title or you've had a bad season. I think that's fair to say. For Aston Villa, it's qualify for European football or you've had a bad season. For Ipswich Town, it's stay up, you've had a really good season. Anything else, it's as expected, really. It's all relative. So when it comes to Man City, it's simply qualifying for the Champions League. I struggle to have faith and confidence that those players are going to be motivated by finishing 5th in the Premier League, because it's not good enough for them. They may go on and win the FA Cup, but do they have that? Do they have that just... I don't know, I guess motivation is the word, but have they got that sort of grit to drive themselves forward to just qualify for the Champions League? I'm not sure they do, and I think you see it time and time again with clubs who, I don't know, my gut feeling is Man City will finish 6th in the Premier League this season. 7th, I've actually gone for Fulham. Now, my prediction, Monday took a blow with them losing away to Bournemouth. However, I think they've created more than enough to at least get a point from that game. But this is more reflective of Chelsea than Fulham. I just don't trust Chelsea at all. I think they're a club that looks, for some reason, this team looks stale. It looks out of ideas to some extent. And they're struggling. Chelsea are struggling. I feel Newcastle are the informed team. And when I take away the bottom 4 teams of the Premier League, so West Ham and the Southampton, Ipswich, Leicester, if I remove them, the 2 other teams I would not want to back to win a game this weekend are Brentford and Chelsea. I would prefer to back Wolves or Everton or Crystal Palace over Chelsea and Brentford. They're the 2 teams I feel like they've almost given up a little bit. And it's not good enough for Chelsea. It is not good enough. But they've not been good enough for quite a while now. I think they will also have one eye on that Conference League because they'll cruise through this round into the semi-finals. And they should prioritise that. They should go on and win it. And it might be, well, it's nothing because we've won the Champions League, we've won the Premier League. It's still a major trophy. It still is. But I just think it's going to impact them a little bit. Cole Palmer doesn't seem to be firing. Jackson coming back will be huge for them. But I don't know. I've just decided to put Fulham in there because I think they'll do all right. Maybe I'm overestimating Fulham and Marco Silva. And everything's not quite clicking for them at the minute. But if they can put together 3 wins out of the last 6, that might just be enough to leapfrog Chelsea. Because I don't see Chelsea picking up loads more points. So that's what I've got as my top 8. Obviously, that means Bournemouth and Brighton miss out. So you guys get involved in the comments below. I am now off at 14:48. I'm now off to load up my little predictor game, fire in all the results. I'll be back in a minute to show how I got on. Right, it's 5-3 now. I spent a whole 7 minutes putting in all my predictions for the remainder of this season. I thought that's the best way of proving I've done it, but I've just realised there's no proof I've done it. The only proof you've got is I disappeared for 7 minutes. I could have went and had a cup of tea and come back, but I promise you, I was putting my results in. Hopefully you believe me. Anyway, I've got my final table here. Let's take a look at it because there's a couple of surprises for me. So, unsurprisingly, I've got Liverpool winning the league. Arsenal remaining second with Nottingham Forest third. So my gut was that Arsenal would drop down a place. But they are equal points with Nottingham Forest. But here's the big surprise for me. Newcastle in 4th. Now, I'm pretty sure most Newcastle fans say, oh yeah, Champions League football will have that. But I guess the surprise for me is I thought they'd sort of go on a winning streak between now and the end of the season and finish in 2nd place. Manchester City in 5th in Champions League football. But equal points with Aston Villa is my prediction. That would be interesting. And they've still got to play each other this season as well. So that's a big fixture. My gut, well, my brain's telling my gut you're wrong about this. Chelsea will get European football. They will finish 7th. And if 8th spot was to get the Conference League, it will be Bournemouth that benefit, not Fulham. So there you go. Brain says that. My gut says a completely different thing as well. I want you guys to get involved in the comments though. I'm going to put a link to where you can go and put all your predictions in. Let me know. And also make it clear if you're doing what you think without testing it or when you're testing it, or give me both versions. That's more fun, isn't it? One thing's for sure. I'm definitely going to be wrong about a few things. But one thing's for sure. It's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. The European race in the Premier League, bring it on. I can't wait.